All right, what's going on, guys? We are back with another Dokkan battle video, and today we got some news, baby. So the EZAs that are coming for the celebration, at least for part 1 of the celebration so far that have been announced, are in fact the TEQ Androids and AGL Trunks. So I think we all kind of anticipated that the androids would probably EZA the celebration. I did make a video last night kind of going over who I think we could see for EZAs during this Android 16 celebration. Pretty much everything centered around androids because I figured they would try to build that team up to try to help him out because he is in need of a good team. Now the androids definitely seemed like a no-brainer pick, right? You got 17 and 18 here. He needs a 17 or 18 for his unit super, so EZAing these guys just made the most sense. Now, I kind of flirted with the idea of Trunks maybe getting EZA just because it is Android Cell Saga, but I didn't put him in my list just because he's not someone who actually would help out 16. But this could be insight into maybe what part 2 could be, right? Maybe it is some sort of Saiyan, like maybe another Trunks or maybe a Vegeta. I would say a Gohan, but we've already been loaded with Gohans. I don't think we're gonna get another Gohan. But another idea here is maybe like a tag Trunks and Vegeta. I think that would be really cool. Like a Super Trunks and Super Vegeta tag unit for part 2 would be phenomenal, I think, and that would go very well, I think, along with his EZA. So what we're gonna do in this video is we're going to, look at these guys, look at what they are now, kind of talk about what we think they could become and what we kind of want to see from them. And then I definitely want to get feedback from you guys, letting me know what you guys think of these EZAs and what you guys are hoping to see from them. So first, let's go ahead and let's look at this. So the date of these is the big key here. So the TEQ Androids aren't gonna be until the 2nd, right? They're not gonna be as soon as celebration starts. Celebration starts tonight. We're able to get this info because technically the JP one has begun, right? They've got their celebration info, so that's why we're able to see this. This is just straight up in there. They weren't hiding it. It's there. So once Global actually starts the campaign tonight, this will be on Global as well. So the 2nd is when the androids come. The 9th is when Trunks shows up. Now, when I look through JP's celebration info, part 2 looks like it's going to start on the 16th. So Trunks having his EZA on the 9th is exactly 1 week before the 16th. So 1 week before we'd probably have the part 2 LR. So it makes a lot of sense that maybe he is going to be somehow associated with it or somehow, buffing that character or helping that character out. So very good, very good. It's exactly what we want to see from these EZAs is people that will help buff these teams. So androids will be really good for 16. Trunks, hopefully really good for whatever the part 2 LR is. Hopefully a Vegeta and Trunks tag unit is kind of what I'm hoping for. That's where I'm leaning. Now, Android 16 does drop tonight, right? So he does come out at 12 a.m. midnight on the 28th. So basically in like, what is that, 13 hours from now, from the time of me recording this, he will be available. So very much looking forward to him. He looks like a very good character, right? He's very strong. He just needs help. And that's where I think the TEQ Androids are going to come in and definitely give him some support. He leads androids, he leads uncontrollable power. He's got the, Android Cell Saga and mission execution, artificial life form as his additional categories here. He's very reliant on androids, right? He needs another one in the team in order to get his entrance animation, which is going to be vital because that does give him the guard. And it does also give, some support here as well for the rest of the team. Right here, he's boosting androids, he's boosting uncontrollable power. He's supporting his allies a lot. He is just a dude. He just looks very good on paper. That I'm really excited to see how he performs in game. Right? So he's got support everywhere. He's got versatility, and depending on what slot you place him in, his active skill, if you launch it while he's in slot 3, gives him a bunch of extra buffs, and then you can just throw him in slot 1 and he'll have literally everything. That didn't mean to click that. Then he'll literally have like all this stuff here on his active turn, which is going to be insane. Actually, we're gonna have all this here on his active turn, plus all this. So he is going to be very, very good. He's going to have that, what we call a god rotation or a god turn where he's just going to look phenomenal. Then his super attack, right? He does have a unit super that he does have to have the condition of having Android 17 or 18 on the team, or on the same turn, mind you. So that does come into play here with the banner unit, Android 17. That is going to be very helpful. He does look very, very good himself. Very much looking forward to this guy. I definitely want to pull him. His art looks fantastic. Like, have you seen his SSR art, dude? Look at this. That is nice. His art is beautiful. His kit is very good for a banner unit. Definitely what Android 16 is looking for in a partner. So this works out really, really well. Now, the TEQ Androids. So Android 17 and 18, this is the future version, the one that kills Gohan, rest in peace. But this character, when they dropped, were so good for so long. Not necessarily because of like how strong they were or anything like that, but like the biggest thing here is they're active, right? So it can be activated when facing only one enemy whose HP is 35% or more, or when facing 3 or more enemies. They launch this active, and they have a free Ghost Usher turn. That right there alone is a very, very powerful active skill that will never go out of date, right? This is a very good one. You know, they're not gonna have anything updated here with the EZA, because the EZA will not update the active. It just will update the passive and the super attacks, and their leader skill, just everything except the active skill. So what we could see from these guys, so, you know, they got 17s and 18s kind of thrown in here all over the place. It's kind of the gimmick of 17 and 18. So attack 170, defense 180. Let's see, change key spheres to TEQ, and then receive key +1 per rainbow key sphere obtained. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess here that they're probably gonna be a rainbow orb changer because of this right here. And I don't think they had anything else in here that showed. Yeah, nothing else in here really had anything to do with rainbow key spheres. So it's kind of weird this is in here just by itself. So I think their EZA could have something to do with, you know, maybe change certain types of tech and then maybe other ones to rainbow to kind of help them out here. For every TEQ key sphere they got stronger, right? 35% attack and defense for every TEQ key sphere. And then for every non-TEQ key sphere, they did still get a boost. Attack up by 18%, defense up by 17%. I could see, I don't know if these will really change because they like to keep that numbering scheme, right? That little gimmicky scheme here. So I could see this definitely go up. I could see them doing something with this to make it a little bit better. 7 more key spheres, they get another 70% attack. 8 or more key spheres, they get defense. So either they're going to drop this condition here down, which, I mean, it's 7 or 8, so 17, 18, so I don't know. Or just make it easier, or give them like a bigger buff from this. And we could definitely see that. So, and then we got if HP is 35% or less when attacking, they get additional super. I could definitely see this changing either completely or making this much, much easier to get. That way you're not hoping to, you know, be a little, be under the HP threshold in order to get additional super. If HP is 35% or more when receiving a Ki Blast super, they nullify. So they've got guaranteed nullification at 35% or more. I don't really know what much more you could really do for this, because that is strong as well, right? Nullifying Ki Blast supers is crazy because there's a lot of those in the game. Other than that, I mean, their super raise attack names for 1 turn, cause them to same enemy, and seal super. Yeah, I mean, they could greatly raise here, and that would pretty much be like the biggest change, I think. But yeah, there's some stuff they could do with these guys to make them even better, and definitely having them on the team would support 16 incredibly and make him just much more viable, make his team much better. And I just want to see, I just want to see more androids thrown in, because like if we look at the android category, it's not that great. It's really not. I mean, you can have these two there, right? Obviously, when the TEQ Androids, EZA on the second, you can throw them on there. Super 17 would probably be pretty good. Perfect Cell, and then Cell Perfect Form. So the STR one, the TEQ one, I think would be pretty good to kind of run together on a team, and maybe that would be enough. Hopefully that would be, you know, decent enough to get 16 kind of going. Hopefully they'd be able to survive long enough to get going. You know, you've got Cell's revive, you got his boost, this guy is supporting, the TEQ Androids have their Ghost Usher turn. This guy's super powerful, so I think I think with all them together, it makes the team a little bit better, but I don't know. We'll have to see once they actually are out and what their details really are. But very excited for these guys to get their EZA. Now, if you look at Trunks, Trunks is an unfortunate character who, yeah, dude, when he came out, nobody cared. Like, nobody cared about this Trunks at all. It's very unfortunate. You know, they could have done a lot of really cool things with him because he is like when Trunks originally shows up in Z to destroy Frieza and King Cold. Such a cool moment, such a badass moment in the series that it is unfortunate that this guy dropped when he did and then wasn't very good and all that stuff. So there's a lot they could do with him here. So he is Entrusted Will, he is Android Cell Saga, so that's just going to get a boost there. See, attacking events up 100, launch an additional attack, great chance of launching an additional attack. Now, this right here, all it says is an additional attack, and then great chance of launching an additional attack. That doesn't say super. So these are just normals that he's launching here. So what they could do is definitely make this guaranteed super. They can make this a great chance to attack with, or, you know, launch an extra additional attack with a great chance of super or something like that. Kind of give him a little bit more. When attacking, gets attack and defense up by 100%. And then every time the character performs 3 or more attacks in battle, right? They don't have to be supers. They can just be regular attacks. That's why they have this in there like that. He launches an initial attack that has a great chance to becoming a super attack up to once within the turn, right? So he's going to do initial super, normal, possible normal, and then when he does that, he'll launch another attack that has a 70% chance to become a super. So I could definitely see that becoming a like 100% chance. If he does like 3 or more attacks in battle, then he's going to launch an additional super, which would be good. Because other than that, you're hoping this procs, you're hoping maybe your hidden potential kicks in order to get a couple more attacks in there, hopefully supers, but it's all just chances. These guys don't even have a chance, so very unfortunate that this Trunks is the way he is. I think there's a lot they could do with him. Look how bare bones this is, man. Back in 2021, so he dropped in 2022 technically for global, but he was 2021 character for JP. So these 2021 characters are bare bones, and we thought they were like, I thought back in the day, man, some of these passives were like, oh, dude, this is getting good. And then now you look at passives nowadays, and it's like, damn, like the novel you got here compared to this. So dude, there's so much they could do with this guy. They could totally rework him and make him super viable, make him like a Super Saiyan support or a Saiyan support, or even just Android Cell Saga support, you know, something like that to kind of help him out there. I think that would definitely help out a part 2. Depending on what it is, right? If it is a Vegeta, if it is a Trunks, if it is a Goku, if they're a Super Saiyan, right? It can definitely help because he does transform, right, into Super Saiyan Trunks. And here, I mean, he gets a little bit better, but we got attack defense up by 100, great chance to perform a crit, and that's okay. When attacking with 12 or more ki, attacking defense up by 100% and performs a crit 1 time. that's it. When the target enemy is in attack or defense down, he gets another 50% attack. When the enemy is stunned or has sealed, he gets another 50% attack. A lot of the stuff you don't see nowadays just because a lot of these fights, they nullify this stuff, right? They can't be debuffed, they can't be stunned, they can't be sealed. So it makes it very hard to get this kind of condition here. When all allies attacking the same turn are Android Cell Saga characters, high chance of stunning the attacked enemy for 2 turns. And again, here we go. Like, all allies attacking the same turn, Android Cell Saga. Android Cell Saga is not that crazy. Or at least it wasn't back then, right? And then a high chance to stun the enemy for 2 turns. That's great, but allies enemies can't be stunned. So this was almost useless. This was almost useless. I mean, this stuff, yeah, dude, not good. And he didn't stack or anything, you know, greatly raised attack and defense, that's it. His condition to transform here, right? Be activated after performing 6 or more attacks in battle. Isn't that bad because he's got a lot of attacks built in? So it was very easy to get his transformation. However, it just didn't seem worth it at all. See, I mean, transforms to seal target enemy and seals, like that's cool, but it doesn't help in fights nowadays, like at all, because nobody can be stunned, nobody can be sealed unless it's like a really weird gimmicky fight. So hopefully they rework this guy a lot. Hopefully he does very good. Hopefully he is very good and supporting the Part 2 LR. So final thing I want to talk about here is something Proton put out in the data download, which we will make an entire data download video kind of going over all this stuff. But he did say that they added an EZA super effects for the super attack script for the Fizz Android 16 and 18, which means these guys could likely get their EZA this celebration as well. So this was one of my like ideas and one-offs that I think we could have seen, but wasn't really kind of betting on, I guess, to be able to see. So it looks like I was half right, because they could be getting an EZA this celebration. Now this is an old banner unit, 2022 banner unit here. I think they came out with the cell, right? Yeah, they came out with the imperfect cell. So looking at their kit, I mean, they'll be good to help out 16, just because 18's in the name, right? 18's in the name, so that'll give him his unit super attack. They are androids, which does help out, boost up that category, helps boost up 16, helps boost up the banner 17. And they will link with Android 16 because he is 16 and 18, so you can actually link them together, so he'll be fine. Let's see, so attack up by 160, defense up by 180, so obviously the gimmick of the androids here, just by their numbers. The more HP remaining, the more attack and defense that they do have. When there's a super class ally attacking the same turn, you have a medium chance of attacks being effective against all types. When there is another extreme class ally attacking the same turn, medium chance of guarding all attacks. With super class enemy, all allies attack up by 34% and defense up by 16%. When there is an extreme class enemy, all allies attack up by 18% and defense up by 34%. So this does, you know, they're very dependent on like who you have on the team and who you're fighting in order to get like their boosts and their buffs. So basically these guys, I think they could be reworked pretty well. I think, you know, give them a bigger boost here, definitely add some stuff into their basic here. And they could definitely add some buffs into these, or like combine them in some way. That way it's not like a really weird, like broken up, like dependent kind of deal, and they can kind of mix and match a little bit better, I think. So, I mean, you can have a super class and extreme class tag at the same turn. You can get both of these, you know, make them a higher chance or make them a guarantee, like, because dude, this sucks. A medium chance to have effect against all types, a medium chance to guard, that blows, because that's a 30% chance that you're going to do any of this stuff just from trying to hit after hitting this condition. Like that sucks. That sucks. And then they are supporting here, which is very good. Greatly raise attack and defense for one turn. Turn damage enemies, very basic here. They can add in a little stipulation with this too, you know, maybe for 2 turns, maybe, you know, some other kind of effect to their super, I guess. Again, don't know how much it'll play into it with a lot of these bosses being able to nullify a lot of that stuff, but either way, these guys can be getting their EZA here as well very soon. So, yep, just wanted to kind of go over this stuff really quick. We'll go into the entire like global data download video and talk about everything that we're going to see coming in the celebration based off of what we see in that data download. And then once we actually have all the campaign details, we will go over that stuff as well. But for right now, looking at the EZA, the major EZAs for part 1 being the TEQ Androids and AGL Trunks, and I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be very cool, very fun, and very much looking forward to these EZAs. If you guys did stick around in this video, I do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you guys think of the TEQ Androids and Trunks getting their EZAs this celebration. Are you guys excited for it? What are you guys hoping to see from them? And then do you think that maybe Trunks could be related to the Part 2 LR? Let me know. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you!